Sports and Hip Hop with DJ Mad Max. We have the one and only Shiday joining me here on the show here tonight. How are you doing?
I'm doing well.
Congratulations.
Recovering. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing pretty well. Congratulations on your newest album, Jukebox. It's available on all music platforms. We should go check it out. How are you feeling about it?
I'm loving it. This is my first solo project that I've dropped, so I'm really excited. The numbers are doing great. I can just, wipe my hands. So I'm like, okay, it's done. It's out. Okay, now it's time to start putting out more music. So it's very exciting.
This was the confidence booster for your career then to move on. That's what it sounds like to me.
Definitely.
Yeah. Shame on Us is my favorite song. I think you start off the project very strong with that one.
Thank you. Inspired by Drake himself. Very inspired. Doing an intro was like different for me. So I enjoyed it. That was actually the first song that I wrote pertaining to this project as well. So that's why we chose it to be the first song.
I'm curious for the title of Jukebox. What made you call the album Jukebox?
Jukebox. I call the album Jukebox because I felt like when you play songs from a jukebox, there's all different type of genres. There's all different type of flavors. And I felt like Jukebox showed three different sides of Shiday, from the R&B to the hip hop to the more pop style music. It showed a variety of different genres. So that's why I call it Jukebox.
Mm-hmm. Pipe down, remind you could spit some bars and sing. Have you thought about releasing just a straight R&B album in the future? Because you really showcase your vocals on this debut.
Definitely. I'll do it.
Yeah.
that was something I had in mind. And I wanted to do maybe like an A&B side, like strictly R&B, strictly rap on the other side. I love R&B. I started from R&B. Of course, rap is new to me. The past like
2 years, right?
Going on 2 years, rap has been new to me. But I mean, why not? I love it because I feel like people like Nicki Minaj set a blueprint, and it was what do I want to say? I feel like when she gave out the blueprint, she was showing female artists how to not stay boxed in one type of sound. If you have the ability to branch out and do different things, even someone I saw yesterday, he was doing the challenge. What is his name? Joyner Lucas.
Joyner Lucas.
I've known Joyner Lucas to be a rapper, but when I saw him sing, it just wowed the heck out of me. I said, what? He can sing? No, he can sing. And of course, it's just about not being kept in that one box. Like, forget what everybody's saying. That's why I appreciate Lotto when Lotto wants to mix it up. One of my favorite songs from Lotto is actually Long Way. Mm-hmm. And if you ask a few people, they may not feel it as much, but because I see the talent in her and how she can not be boxed in and branch out and try new things, I think that makes a wonderful freaking female artist.
I think so too. And you show that you're so creative on this new debut here. What's next with the new album now that you have it released? Are you planning a tour or a Jukebox tour, even though COVID's pretty rampant right now? But I know a lot of artists are going back out on tour.
Yes, COVID is definitely rampant.
Yeah.
I got COVID during Thanksgiving.
Oh,
and
no.
I was supposed to shoot all of these videos the following week of Thanksgiving, and I couldn't shoot them. So it put me behind schedule a lot because I wanted to also put out a project for Christmas. So everything's being pushed forward. And I definitely want to put out some visuals. I'm really just looking at the numbers and seeing which songs that people love the most right now. And it kind of like fluctuates every week now. Of the top 3 songs that people like. So I would say within the next week, I plan on going ahead, knocking out these visuals and putting out some visuals with the project, and also starting to wrap up on some visuals for some new singles that I want to drop in the beginning of the year.
What song can your fans look forward to seeing you drop a visual for first?
I am indecisive between Girls Next Door and Tell Me Now.
Mm-hmm.
Tell Me Now seems to have the most streams right now. And I'm starting to see a lot of new fans who weren't following me before, DM me and tell me how much they love Girls Next Door, because it's different. So definitely aiming for one of those two.
That's going to be fire. And when it drops, the numbers are going to go up. I remember reading online that you signed with Gucci Mane. Are you still signed with him? Because I know there were things that you were doing independently that you wanted to reinvent yourself and expand your own brand.
Sure. I'm not.
You're not. Okay.
I have been free, free for most of this year. Actually, I've been free for most of this year. I thank Gucci for the opportunities, and hell, I mean, if it wasn't for him, I don't think I would be doing this right now. I was headed down the road to where I had just finished graduating from UW Law, and I just retired out of the military, and I spent so much time in school and work away from my son. And last year, 2020 was my year for me to make up for all that lost time of me, having training and being in the Army and being in law school, and make up for that missed time I had with my son. So when I got signed, I kid you not, I was definitely thinking about not taking that deal, because I had spent so much time away from my son, and I was like, okay, now you get the opportunity to live your dream. Like, you've literally done everything that you wanted to do career-wise, and now you get to sit back. So are you gonna go and, take advantage of that opportunity? And I said, I may never get this chance ever again. I love the fact that I really wouldn't change it for nothing in this world to sign with anybody else besides Gucci, because of his how to put it. He's an OG. Everybody knows Gucci. Mm-hmm. So me, I'm thinking, if everybody knows Gucci, as soon as Gucci posts me, everybody's gonna know me. There's people I don't even know that know me, and I just thank him for the opportunities. I mean, it was amazing. Shout out to the whole new 1017. Shout out to the new members. They're awesome as well. And everybody's just doing their own thing now, huh?
You did a song with Jihad Ward from the Ravens, and this was the song I believe that Gucci Mane discovered you because he posted it on his page.
He did?
I think Jihad Ward from the Ravens.
Oh, Jihad. Yeah. Yes, my sweet Jihad. Yes, see, that was random.
Yeah.
I had just moved to Atlanta, and he had hit me up, and he was like, hey, let's do this song. Where you at? I told him I was in Atlanta. He was like, okay, cool, come to Dallas. So I was literally in Atlanta. This is when I first got to Atlanta, and I was there by myself. COVID had just started happening, and I was only there in Atlanta for 2 days. And he was just like, fly out tomorrow. So I just got on a plane, flew out. We hopped in the studio with my boy DJ Monster. He's a dope DJ out here in Houston, and we recorded that song. And yeah, that was fun. Yeah. That was fun, because I had never done any, I wouldn't call it ratchet, but I hadn't done any talk my shit, sexy type of vibes when it came to rapping. So that was definitely new to me. Mm-hmm.
I want to get into your whole beginnings and your backstory growing up in San Antonio, Texas. I know you said that the food is great out there, but tell me, how was life growing up there? I know you had some strict parents that made you do push-ups as punishment. They eventually kicked you out. You had 3 jobs. You went into the military. But how was life growing up in San Antonio?
Hot. Very hot. I mean, I love it. I love San Antonio, and things have changed now. But, when I was living in San Antonio, I did Boys and Girls Club. I did, step team. And some of my best friends, they were my backup dancers. And they were just like some of my biggest supporters. My mom has always been a big supporter of my music. My dad, he supports me from a distance, even though we lived in the same household, but he's more of like, he was military. So of course, like I had said before, very strict household. I didn't really do much growing up. I wasn't really able to participate in a lot of extracurricular activities. It was always books, 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 come home, because both of my parents worked full-time jobs. And when they were working and I was home, I had to babysit because I'm the oldest of three sisters. And I mean, I love Texas. College parties, underage drinking. My mom, look, my mom last year, she asked me a question when she came to Atlanta to come pick up my son when I first got signed with Gucci. And she said, so who's been putting water in the sky bottle of vodka? Mind you, I was in the military for a whole 8 years. I joined the military in 2012. It wasn't until 2020 that she and my dad realized that when I was going out with my friends, I was pouring vodka and taking it with me out to the parties and then filling the sky vodka bottle. I said, it took you guys that long to figure it out? That's a long time ago. But yeah, my parents are cool. I love them.
And it's great to hear that they're supportive now in your career, because you started at such a young age. You started writing poetry and music at the age of 6, and you even know how to play the piano too.
Correct. You spot on. I see you did your research.
Thank you. So what made you want to go into the Army? I believe it was your parents that told you that the only way you're moving back in is if you go into the Army. Was that right?
That is exactly right.
How were your first days in the service? Were you worried at all?
It was, can I cuss on here?
Yes, you can.
It was a shit show.
It was.
Believe it or not, I almost didn't make it to basic training because I went to Fort Campbell, Kentucky. And before you go to basic training, there's like an admin week where you're getting all your shots. And, you know, some places are different. Fort Campbell, Kentucky just has to, it's just that base who has the drill sergeants. You see the drill sergeants and you're with the drill sergeants even before you get to actual basic training down the street. And I got into it with some chick. She was I don't remember where she was from, but she was just, I don't know. She had been there too long and she was trying to boss everybody around. And then she started making up stories and things like that. And the drill sergeant told me, and she was like, you may not ship off tomorrow. We may be sending you home for destructing government property. I punched the locker because I didn't want to punch her, but she balled up her fist to try to fight me. And I'm just like, this bitch don't know I'm from Texas. I'm really about that life, you know? But anyways, they let me go to basic training down the street. And the first few weeks were rough. I don't think I started crying until I was outside and it was 10 degrees and I couldn't feel my feet and my fingers and I was tired and I was hungry. And all these spiders and bugs were just crawling on me. After, the first few weeks, it got easier. I've never been a really good physical person when it comes to physical things like push-ups, sit-ups, stuff like that. So it's very challenging. And during my last 2 weeks of basic training, when we were about to graduate, we were doing a live fire event where there were live fire being shot above our head. And we had to low crawl under barbed wire. When I got up, I snapped my pelvis in half. And I could barely walk. I went to the doctor and he said, I'm gonna have to send you home and you're gonna have to come back and start over. And I told him, I said, look here, I'm not fucking starting over. I've been through hell and back. I can't, if I go home, I'm not coming back. That's what I told him. He was like, well, I'm gonna schedule you an appointment. I don't know how I got out of the appointment, but I never went to that damn appointment. I said, I'm not going home. So the last day before we was about to graduate, I did a 12-mile ruck march and I did a physical fitness test with a snapped pelvis. My ischial tuberosity has snapped in half, basically. And it was, to me, I just thank God because I felt like he got me through that. There's no way I got myself through that. It was definitely him.
Was there anything positive that you took away from your time in the service? And even because America, the American dream, when you look at it and the racism that goes on in this country, it's not all it's made up to be. Is there anything that shaped your mind to think of America differently from being in the service, as well as anything positive you took from being in the service?
Um, I would say the positive thing that turned the negative things that turned my the negative things that turn my views positive was, when you aren't in the military, like a lot of people think of military people as little robots, like, oh, they're fighting for a stupid ass country that don't give a shit about us, right? But I don't think people really go in depth when they look at the type of jobs that people in the military are working. Like my job was a CBRN. I was a chemical, biological, radiological, nuclear specialist. So anytime there was like a domestic terrorism thing going on, like people, you wouldn't know. Like I feel like as civilians, even now, I feel like we're a little bit we're a little bit selfish and not very knowledgeable, that people like me walking up to a mission and you don't even know that your entire city would have been blown up that day if it wasn't for these soldiers. And I've seen a lot of people pick about it and laugh and say, hey, go back to the army, I hope you go to war and die. Like I've had some pretty interesting things, pretty interesting things that people have said to me, in regards to the military, because maybe they feel like my rap career isn't going the way it should go, so they take it as a joke. But, the military members, like they really sacrifice their lives and they sacrifice their freedom. And while everybody's out here, turning up in the club all week, you have people who are really like invested in saving this country. And though we take the small and big things, because there are some big things that have happened, in the US, and we don't realize that every day those people that, are being picked on for being in the military are saving your life every day. I wish a lot of people would appreciate that more, but, we live in a time where like social media, they don't give a shit about, it's not even, remember it used to be sexy as hell for women to be beauty and brains. Now it's not. People laugh at you when you're smart. People that they make they make little comments, but really they don't give a shit. They care about how your body looks, what you sound like, what are you displaying, on the internet, and how the way you shake your ass, and how much money you got, how much jewelry you have, how big is your house, how nice is your car, Instagram models, the whole shebang. I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened to the world, but then you have people like me who are talented and get overlooked because, yeah, I was in the military. So people think, oh, that's boring, or they think I'm boring, but I feel like I'm a little bit more mature. I'm 28 years old. I look young, but I'm 28 years old, and I was born in 93. So I was born in a different era. A lot of the new cats in the game, are, in between the ages of 17 and freaking 23. You know what I'm saying? And I just wish that we could make being beautiful and smart great again.
Yeah.
I see Megan's doing it, and I've known Megan for a while, even before she became really big. And you have people like her and Sweetie who really like they talk about getting your education. And I see a lot of artists also giving away to college students, but they're the same people who rap about fuck school, fuck college. But I don't know. I don't know. I may have just stirred up some shit, but you feel me?
I do.
The same people who give away and expect, and when they go on college tours and they want these college students to support them, are the same people who's rapping about fuck school and fuck college. And times the world is evolving, but you never know what might happen. Instagram may go away someday. We thought MySpace would never go anywhere. I don't know. Maybe Instagram's way too evolved to go anywhere. Yeah, it might be here to stay, but you never know. You
No,
know?
you don't. And the society is insane right now. And if you think about it, just what you've heard about just being a veteran and them telling you go back into the service and die, people are really just at an all-time low. And I've even heard you say that you thought about deleting your social media at one point.
Mhm.
And I don't blame you.
Definitely.
Yeah. I don't blame you.
I had a moment when I was being attacked by a bunch of bullies, and I expected, I was like, if I have a disagreement with another artist, I wouldn't want my fans to bully another artist, because at the end of the day, we are all human and we all have feelings. And I don't give a shit how much money you have or how much jewelry you have. We all have feelings, we bleed the same, we hurt the same. And I just wish that, supporters and fans would challenge more positive energy into negative, because if you notice, like, even when it comes to like things like Shade Room, people don't give a shit about the positive. They're like, oh yeah, get it, yeah. But when the negative shit comes out, oh, they're all on it. They feed into all of this negative energy, and social media has just become like one of these flashy negative platforms. But who am I to say shit? It'll
No, it's true. Social media is toxic.
it'll never change. It'll probably get freaking worse.
Yeah, it probably will. I'm not even gonna kid you on that. I believe it. I believe it will, because it's just gone downhill since the beginning of it. And if you really look at it, if you look at the totals and percentages, it really affects people's mental health too.
For sure, for sure. I mean, I know for this year had to be one of the toughest years for me. And on a mental state, I know that a lot of us don't like to talk about it. And I don't like talking about it. I'm more of the type of person who, I go through things and I beat myself up about it. And by the time I've totally like had enough, like, I just kind of disappear, because that's just how I myself handle, when things aren't going, when things are not as good, when things are bad. Let's just say that when things are bad and I feel like things are bad, I beat myself up about it and I don't talk to anyone about it, because I feel like I'm gonna figure it out, But this year was hard because you take someone who's a single mom, and she just did all this stuff before she got here to this, this deal and this big opportunity, and just to take her away from her son, her child again. And she's doing everything she's supposed to be doing and she's working hard. And then you just up and take that away from her. And now I'm trying to figure out, at the age that I am now, should I continue following this dream, because I know I'm talented and anything can happen? Or do I say fuck it and then just, say fuck it and then just totally be dedicated to my son and say fuck my dreams and fuck whatever music career that I always wanted, and just say fuck it? I mean, if I didn't have any kids, this would be different. Shit, I'm gonna ride it out. You know what I'm saying? But the fact that I have a son, it makes things more, tedious, and I have to be careful with my decisions. And things kind of happen abruptly. So it's been a rough year, and I just thank God, really, for getting me through it. I feel like these are things that we do need to talk about. I won't talk about, things. I'm not ready to really talk about what happened, because nothing really happened. And people keep asking me the same damn question every day. What happened? I'm just like, fuck, leave me alone. It was almost a year ago. Leave me alone,
Yeah.
But I'm just kind of, taking it for what it is. And, I gain supporters every day. And I'm hoping that my story will encourage others to, not be afraid to open up, and not be afraid that people aren't gonna like you and call you boring if you be you, and not be someone that just for Instagram and the media. I don't know. People call me boring all the time. I don't give a shit. I know I'm the life of the damn party. We go out, I'm the life of the party, so they can kiss my behind. Look, when they don't know you, they'll say anything because they want to get to know you, I guess, right?
Yes, that's all that matters. I did want to bring up something important that would raise awareness on this, because you read these things all the time within the military and the army about the female soldiers and these assault cases. Were there anything that you've witnessed that seems sketchy during your time in the service, and how can these things come to light eventually and even be resolved?
Mhm. I myself never experienced that when I was in the military. However, I was in charge of lots of soldiers. I was an NCO, and um, I had a friend that was falsely accused. He's a male. One thing I will say is that just like every other system, most times in sexual assault and rape cases, sexual harassment and rape cases, most of the time they side with the woman. And there's a lot of innocent men, and I'm not just saying Black men, I'm saying there's a lot of innocent, any color, ethnicity men who are not at fault. And you ruin their life when you lie. After dealing with, cases where the tables were turned and finding out it wasn't the guy, it was the girl, it made me look at things in a different light, because I mean, you bring that up, and now in the industry, there's random cases coming out. Oh, so and so sexually assaulted me, raped me. I am not saying that anyone's a liar, but what I am saying is that just like the system is fucked up for child support and fathers, the system's also fucked up when it comes to, these type of situations. I really don't like to really speak on it because, I feel like if anything were to happen to me and I was telling the truth and people thought I was lying, I'd be pissed. But there's also people who lie, both male and both female. And, I really don't have shit to say. They're just gonna have to deal with that when they clock out of this world, and they gotta go face the big man. They're gonna have to deal with it then. But I do feel like anybody who has experienced that and may feel down or alone or scared to talk to somebody, I really recommend that they should talk to someone. And yeah, just get help. We shouldn't live in a world where we're afraid to talk about things that we go through. And unfortunately we do, because people feel like it'll either hurt their career, and some people have different, vendettas. So that's really all I have to say about that.
Yeah, I just wanted to shed
There's
some
a lot
light
of shit
on
that
it.
goes on in the military that is freaking wacko and crazy out of this world that I've seen or heard. So, I mean, being in for 8 years and being an NCO and in charge of a bunch of different, soldiers, you see and hear all types of shit. I'm not saying I wasn't the best out of the bunch when I first joined the Army. Let's just say that I worked hard, but I was free. So I did free things. But then I became an adult and I became a mom, and I became a wife, and I changed. So, it changes you. Just be ready to handle the civilian world when you get out, because I was not ready. And I didn't have patience anymore. In the military, you don't have patience. You get out here in the real world and like people expect you to have patience. I just want things to freaking happen like this, but I know that, in the real world, it doesn't happen that way.
Unfortunately, it doesn't. And you ranked up pretty quickly. You started out as an E3, you moved up pretty quickly, and eventually you graduate from the military, you get out. You're living in Seattle at the time.
I was.
Yeah. Then eventually you relocate to Atlanta. You pursue the music. You went to a music school out there.
I did. I went to AIM, but I was only at AIM for like a month. And then Gucci kept calling, and he was like, yeah, she need to go to Tampa. She need to go record. And I was just like, well, I can't record here. So I had to drop out of school. I had to drop out of school. And like, that makes me think of things now, right? So, what do I say? I'm not saying it's hard to make money out here as a rapper, but when you're not on the top of the top and you don't have a lot of sponsorships and things like that, things get rough. I'm lucky I get a retirement check every year. I feel like this is something that we should talk about, because a lot of artists, walk around here acting like, they got all this money and they got it. But I know it's hard out here. I get, extra incomes because of, being in the service, but where was I getting at with this story? Shit, I forgot. I think what I was getting at is that sometimes you have to, I know what it was. I was thinking, do I go back to doing, shit that really makes the most money until I get to the point where, and then it's hard because you can't just pick up and leave whatever work you're doing and say, hey, I have a show, I gotta go. Hey, I have a hosting, I have to go, I have to fly out. Hey, I'm gonna be on tour for a week, so I can't come to work. That's one thing that really I've been thinking about a lot too, as well as that, and also, being able to have my son with me full time. It's just a little hard because I never know what's popping up, what I have to do. So 2021 is like, no, sorry, 2022 is gonna be my year to where like I really like ask myself, what the hell do you really want? And how long are you gonna set these goals? And if you don't reach them by a certain time, what is your next step? I feel like this is me being an adult. It's not me giving up, it's me being an adult, and it's me taking care of my responsibilities, and I have a responsibility, and that's my child. I know a lot of people don't really talk about it. I always wonder, what a lot of artists who have kids do to make money outside of being a rapper. And I don't know, I just be wondering, like, do people be working jobs, like full-time jobs? Like, how they making money? Because
Exactly.
if you're not really getting any shows and you're not really doing any hostings, you're not doing like any big sponsorships, how the hell are y'all out here making money?
It's a good question.
I feel like the OGs need to talk about shit like that. I'm not saying I'm an OG, but they call me young because I'm younger than them. But I feel like the OG should be educating new artists, new entertainers. They should be getting educated, because I watch and see how when, the career of an artist or entertainer crumbles, when there's someone who saw it about to happen and never said anything. And I feel like we need more mentors in this industry, especially when it comes to the OGs. There are a few, but there aren't many. No. There aren't many. I feel like we definitely need that, for sure.
This will bring me into my next question. Because of the OGs, who were some OGs that did inspire your career growing up in this music business and just pursuing a career in music?
I love 50 Cent. That's my dog, but I leave that out. I don't know him from a campaign, but just very inspiring. 50 Cent. OGs. Yeah. I would call Beyonce an OG. I don't care what nobody says. She's an OG.
Since we could take it to Texas, even though you're from San Antonio, Houston, you can look at Scarface.
Scarface. Okay, yes. Yes. Dang, who else? I don't know.
Pimp C.
I grew up in an R&B household. So when I think of OGs, I'm thinking more of like actors and actresses. I'm not even thinking about like music OGs. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, we can call Nicki an OG, Lil Wayne an OG, Jay-Z's an OG. We got all the R&B OGs.
You're named after one, Shiday.
Yes, an amazing group. You know what I actually found out? So this entire time, I don't know who posted it, but Shiday is actually a group.
That's right.
And I didn't know that until about 2 months ago. Shiday was actually my mom's favorite singer, well, favorite group.
Yeah.
So that's why she named me after them. But yeah.
Yeah, no, the Sade, another great group out there of OGs. And you're right about the mentorship. There needs to be more artists speaking out and helping the younger generations. And I think it's just a disconnect. I don't know what it is, but I've noticed a disconnect between not only musically, but as you say, they never speak out. It's like they just make their money, and some of them do great things as such as charity, and then other ones just don't do anything. They stay in their own little world.
T.I. is definitely an OG.
Yeah.
He's very intellectual. And Master P as well. So I would say my top two would definitely be Master P and T.I. Those are the ones that I remember from my era, my era of hip hop and, OGs who are intellectual. Rick Ross as well. Those would be my top three. I feel like if artists had a lot more mentorship, a lot of them wouldn't be, passing away so early and, spending their entire career in jail. Because when you get a dream like this and you're making millions of dollars, like who in their right mind would want to mess all that up? And who's mentoring these young cats? You know what I mean? Like you got people who out here who would love a freaking opportunity, and you take your opportunity and you throw it away. And that makes, that would make anybody upset. Like, man, I'm really talented, but this person just threw their whole life away and you could have invested in me. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know, shit's not gonna change. Sometimes we can't freaking change. People make their own decisions at the end of the day. Most people are adults in this industry. I feel like once you touching millions of dollars, at this point, you become a freaking adult because, that's what adults do. They adults. That's called adulting responsibility. But yeah, that's all I gotta say about that.
You brought up before looking at OGs as actors and actresses. You actually want to get into acting. What is it about acting that you want to try out?
I just want to try it. I do. I don't know. I just see myself doing like scary movies. Not really.
Okay, I like that.
Even though people think I'm funny, I'd rather do like scary movies, action movies. I had this really cool idea. I haven't seen a movie about, a Black woman in the service that, basically ends up being a POW and she has to find her way, to the embassy, but during her way of finding herself getting to the embassy, like she has all these people trying to kill her. You know what I mean? Like, I had started writing, a couple short films that I wanted to do. So this year, along with music, finishing up some of my short films that I was writing, and pitching it to some different directors, even if I don't play the actress myself, trying to get my hands in, a different pot. Like music's cool. I love music. But like I said, I'm getting older and I can't sit here and do music forever. Although I would like to, I had a little late start, you know what I mean? I have to start planning my life on how I would want it to be 10 years down the line. Like once I'm done with music, what else will I have done? What else do I have set in stone? I think it's very important, especially, having my son, I want him to be able to say, Mom, you did that shit, like you're a role model and you inspired a lot of other people in different ways and you didn't quit. My son actually messaged me tonight. He was just like, Mommy, I love you so much and I'm so proud of you and I love your new songs. He's definitely my motivation. even I don't really like him listening to some of my songs because I do curse a lot. But I mean, he's my biggest motivation, and I gotta do what the hell I gotta do for my child. You know what I'm saying? And he just keeps me going. That's my little angel. So yeah.
That's important, especially that he loves you and supports you. That means everything, especially to someone like you who's in this business and just understands the grind and the hustle, what comes from it. And with you writing your own movies and pitching it to directors, I think it would be best that you do play the part because you have experience. And that's great that you have already written these stories because they haven't been brought to the table already. So we have some new ideas coming forward. And I think 50 Cent would serve as that inspiration to you because look what he's done with Power.
Nice. 50 call me, bro. Let's make some money.
Yeah.
I got a whole lot. I have different ideas. I just sometimes, with this film, I haven't met my friends like move to LA. I said, you think I'm about to move to LA and be broke? Chasing the acting dream? Nah, let me tell you something. Let me just figure it out. I'll fly out to LA when I have to, okay? Go out there and get stuck out there. Even though, there's so many different opportunities, but I feel like you don't really have to move somewhere just to experience different opportunities. I mean, going out there for a little bit, spending some time getting to know people, come back and visiting, things like that. It's just the same as people, when they hit me up and they're like, hey, I want a feature. And I'm like, well, all right, okay. Sometimes I ask people, what's your budget? They tell me the budget. I'm like, cool, all right, we'll work with it. And they're like, oh yeah, and then can we meet up so we can be in the studio together? And we're gonna, sir, ma'am, just send me the track. Like, we don't have to be there together. I just send the MP3, send the files. But I mean, I'm loving it. It's next year, I think it's gonna be a really good year. It has to be. It has to make up for this year for sure. Because, I don't talk much, but sometimes I do get in my moods because I feel like no one's hearing me. No one really knows my story. Nobody knows the truth. Nobody knows, what it really feels like. That's not in my situation. I'm not saying that other people don't go through other things, but, it was hard, I don't really feel like talking about it today, but maybe later on, throughout next year, once I, accomplish some goals and I'm ready to because I don't want to dawn on everything, I don't want to dawn on it, and I don't feel like I'm dawning on it. I feel like I'm, taking it for what it is, which is why I don't talk about it. And I just keep it pushing.
Mhm. The main important thing is for you to just keep that positive mindset going despite what you're going through because someone that can speak from experience of being in a down light recently, and I learned to read positive books and even journal. You should definitely look into reading in some positivity books and even journaling and manifesting what you want for your career because I was in a dark light a few months ago, and you just get into this mindset where you're locked in the negative. You don't think anything's going to happen for you, and if you stay like that, your life is just miserable and you find yourself just nothing coming to you positively. So I think
Definitely.
it's all about changing the mindset into positive, even though it's hard, because I know like there's times where it's hard and people are like, oh, like I could be telling you this right now and you're like, yeah, but that's how I was at a time until I finally just got out of the mind state that I was in negatively to attain positiveness.
Exactly. I definitely feel that.
Yeah.
Definitely.
You mentioned wanting to do some scary movies. Why scary movies? Because usually I'm the scary movie guy because I'm a big horror movie fan. Well, I'm
Uh,
curious to hear why you want to do some scary movies.
uh, I think it would just be fun. It'd just be fun. I don't know. Growing up, I hated scary movies, and now I love scary movies. Maybe that makes me like a weird freak of some sort. That I love horror movies, but I think horror movies have become comedy these days. They're not even scary. It's just I feel like the expression and the feeling, and I feel like it's easier to act in a horror movie than it is to act maybe like it's easier to act in a horror movie than it is in like a drama movie
Mhm.
for me, at least. because you have to be real serious and sad in a drama. Like horror movies, you just act like you're scared.
Which
I
one
don't know. I want to be
terrified
like
you?
this weird. I just want to be like this vampire or something. And I don't know. And by the way, fun fact, I am obsessed with werewolves and vampires and witches. I don't know why. I like supernatural things. I've always been that way since I was growing up. Even though my grandmother, she never let me watch Harry Potter in her house. But I wasn't allowed to watch those movies with my grandparents, so I always snuck and watched them at home. But fun fact about me, I love supernatural TV shows and movies. I'm obsessed with vampires and werewolves and witches. I guess I don't know. Does that make me weird?
No, it doesn't. Weird are the people that think it's weird, and then the same people that call you weird have, I bet you, they're hiding in their own little world and what they like.
Right. Who knows what they like?
Please, what's your
For
top
sure.
5 horror movies?
Top 5 horror movies. Okay, let me think. Sheesh, my mind's blank. Top 5 horror movies would be Children of the Corn.
Ooh, that's a Stephen King classic.
Yes. Jeepers Creepers.
I like that one. There we go.
None of the scary movies are really scary movies. I like Final Destination 1. I wasn't too fond of the sequels, but Final Destination 1 was one of my favorites. I'm trying to think. It, for sure. Oh, I got more than 5. Freddy versus Jason. Freddy versus Jason.
Kelly Rowland was in that.
Mm-hmm. But have you seen the new horror movies? They're not really that much of horror anymore.
I'm not big on it. A lot of it's remakes, and if you go back to, you mentioned a couple classics there in Children of the Corn and Jeepers Creepers, those are classics.
Mm-hmm.
And those were made with pure makeup effects, actual. You could feel that it felt real. Where movies today, they don't feel, they have that same effect anymore.
They're coming out with a new Jeepers Creepers this year.
Actually, I heard about that.
Is it next year?
Next year, Jeepers Creepers Reborn.
Okay, yeah. I wasn't very fond of the new Candyman. I was confused. I didn't know what was going on. I wasn't scared. It didn't scare me. It wasn't funny. It was confusing. But I wonder if that's why it took, because during COVID, Candyman was supposed to come out, I think last year or something like that. It never came out. And I don't know if they kind of just wrapped up the movie and said, F it, we're just gonna put it out as is. But yeah, they could have redid that one.
Yeah, nothing will beat the original.
Hopefully cast and director does not. Mr. Director, Mrs. Director, please don't take me offense to that. I'm so sorry. Just let's find a way to make it better. That's it. That's all I'm saying.
So we got the horror movies covered.
Mm-hmm.
Gucci Mane, has he reached out about the new album, Jukebox?
Fuck no.
No?
No. Well, don't talk too much. He's just, I don't know. That man right there, he's like that weird, uncle from the family who just like pops up every once in a while and like he may or may not say something. Just that uncle that like just that does their own thing. No, I mean they haven't. Nobody has over there at all. But to be honest, I don't give a shit. And I'm just being honest, I did that project on my own and I worked hard, and I'm not saying that my talent would go unnoticed. I'm not saying that maybe nobody listened to it, but and I don't know. Honestly, I don't give a shit. I know I bust my ass. I thank my manager, I thank my team, the people that I'm working with now. Not a new label or anything like that, but the people that's basically part of like my management team, and they've they inspire me and they push me, and have gotten me into, different situations and things like that. So one thing I am gonna say, I support who support me. And for a long time, I was supporting motherfuckers who wasn't supporting me. And now it's time for me to support my damn self instead of supporting everybody else when I'm not getting that same love back. And people can take it how the fuck they want to take it, to be honest. I feel like I say nothing wrong. If you don't support me, why the hell am I out here acting like I'm gonna support you? No, I'm gonna unfollow you. We don't talk. You don't support me. So bye. You know what I mean? You can't make nobody love you. It's almost the same thing with Erica. Erica Banks, people wasn't really supporting her until she got one song that popped off on TikTok, and then the song blows up. And then now all of a sudden, all y'all want to support her just because someone else is co-signing her. And now because she's above you and above other female artists, now other female artists want to support her. And that happens in the game. That's exactly why, I feel like, Nikki, acts the way she acts, or, Kim acts the way she acts, or Cardi acts the way she acts, Megan acts the way she acts, because people don't really support you until they have no choice but to support you, because if they don't support you, they're gonna look like they hate you, and they don't want to be the person that's looking like they hate. And so they have to, get on the bandwagon and start supporting you, so people won't think that they're a hater. It's sad that we come to that. I feel like the guys, they support each other a lot. You know what I mean? Look at Pooh Shiesty's run, right? Pooh Shiesty got signed. Ryan Pooh Shiesty got signed. He immediately started doing songs with Moneybagg, Lil Baby, all these cats, and then you look at the females. Like, females don't just come off the bat with a big feature like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, not with a male or a female. They don't just come out the bat swinging with dope features, things like that. It's almost like you got to really prove yourself that you can stand your ground alone before you get to things like that. Look at Lotto, right? Lotto did that. Lotto had to prove her ground and stand her ground and, come up on her own without big features before people took her seriously. You know what I mean? Same thing with Megan. It's the same thing with a lot of artists, really standing your ground. Well, with female artists, really standing your ground until, people like really realize it, and then you blow up, and then everybody's on your ass, and everybody's a fan after that, right? But yeah, I'm glad you had brought that
up. No problem at all. Of course, I wanted to bring that up. You mentioned that you're recovering from COVID. I'm glad that you are recovering. How was this experience that many people are experiencing out there right now?
COVID was shitty. First 2 days it was crappy, especially because it was, Thanksgiving week, and my mom isn't in the best of health, so I put, her at risk. So I brought it with me from Houston. I didn't know I had it until it was literally, I was there for a whole week. I was feeling fine, and then about the 5th day, I just crashed. And my sister was pregnant, and she went into labor, and I never got to hold my new niece, and it was hard because my mom definitely quarantined me and put me in a room for almost 3 weeks, and I couldn't even leave the room. I had to get room service. That was the best part about it. But everybody at my mom's house got tested and things like that, so everybody's good. It was just me, and they have the COVID vaccine. I've actually been thinking about getting it. I'm not sure yet. At this point, I feel like, being in the military, I've gotten every shot in the world. So a damn COVID shot is not going to hurt me.
No.
You'd be amazed. We're getting things like anthrax. Who walks around and say, did you get your anthrax shot?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we have to get doses of it every year. So I feel like, fuck it. Might as well, right?
Yeah. I'm glad to hear that you're recovering and that your family's good, and that congratulations on your niece being born.
Thank you. She's so cute.
Yeah.
She's definitely so cute. My sister did a good job. She did a good job. I'm done though. So
yeah.
I hope y'all never expect any more kids. I got my son. He's 7. I don't want any more kids.
I don't blame you.
I'm still trying to chase this dream and spend time with the one I have. You know what I'm saying? I don't want any more kids.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Stay goal focused.
My son asked me every once in a while, he's like, Mommy, I want a sister. I'm not, no, the hell you don't. I'm not starting over, sorry. So whoever my lucky man is, you know, years to come, I hope he already has kids. That way we don't have to have it. Does that sound selfish?
Not really, because you're pursuing a career in this and you understand that you just need to focus on your son that you have right now. And that's enough for you right now to handle. So especially with pursuing this career that you have now, you don't need anything else on your plate.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Okay, Shiday, is there anything else you would love to let the audience know, your listeners know, your fans know, anything upcoming? I know you have some visuals on the way. Anything else?
That's a wrap. Please, anyone, don't take anything that I said out of context. If you need to explain what I was trying to say, I'll explain it. But knowing y'all gonna take shit, run with it, and make it something that's not. All I'm saying is make sure you tag me so I can be ready to get you straight. Okay. Shout out to DJ Mad Max. Thank you for having me. Shout out to all my supporters. Keep streaming Jukebox. I got some visuals dropping. And I did a lot of singing on this project, but the single starting the top of the year, I'm gonna give y'all some more rap, some more hip hop. I'm really excited. I just thank all my supporters and thank my family and my friends, you know, for being there through, you know, a really tough year. But I'm blessed. Continue to stay blessed. Bless everyone else. I know y'all can find me on Instagram at Shiday, the one and only. Shout out again to DJ Man Max. I'm out.
Thank you. I appreciate you joining me on the show here tonight. You're always welcome. I have Jukebox in the rotation. Enjoy the holiday season, the New Year's, and I look forward to everything that you achieve in the next year and you getting through this whole negative thing that you're going through right now, because I understand what it's like to be in a negative state and you will overcome it.
For sure, for sure. Thank you.
Yes, no problem. Enjoy the rest of your night, all right?
You too. Bye-bye.
Yeah, bye-bye.